It's time for the fitting video, and what a place to get fitted down at the Titleist Performance Centre here at Woburn. So lucky today, John, the master fitter here, has taken myself and Tom through a cool fitting process to see which irons are going to be best suited for us.
We're ready to go. We've got Trackman running. Same target.
Not allowed another warm-up, unbelievable.
Not allowed another warm-up, got to be fresh. This is how you'd play golf though, if you play golf, right?
That's why I don't play golf. Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's maybe like a millimetre heavy, but not shabby.
Nice.
Never like the feel of that. Strike's good. Feels nice to swing. Strike feels really nice.
Spin to win.
Yeah, I didn't feel particularly comfortable over that, but there you go.
Don't mind the flight though.
No, I mean, that's a good miss, right? I mean, it's pretty straight, it's done well.
I've got a towel. What are you doing that on your trousers for when I've got a towel?
It's a habit, isn't it? It's a habit when you're on course. Just kind of do it.
So in terms of like that last shot as a reference, so
yeah,
obviously I don't think I mentioned it when I was talking through, but all the models have L cup, a little bit of L cup in there as well.
Okay.
Not in the forged design, so not like in T1, but the hollow head, so like T250, T350, 250 launch spec. The utilities have L cup. Okay. So if you strike it low off the face with retaining ball speed, for the purpose that if you're in the right sort of model, where you flushed one, and we've gone 175, 52 land angle, 114 feet, if we can get that, which was a real thin,
yeah,
close to the front of the green when you're aiming middle,
100%,
but still got 47 land angle,
yeah,
it's going to be a winner, right?
100%.
So it's obviously going to go lower in flight because you've thinned it.
Yeah.
But if you thin it, it's on line.
Yeah.
And then lands front edge of the green and potentially could run out. You're not, oh, now I've got 30 yards, I've got to chip up and down.
Yeah, no. And I think that's such a misconception with clubs like these nowadays as well. Because like you say, that went from what, 175 flush to 166, and that was hit like right off the bottom of the club.
Off the bottom.
Like, so that's dropped like less than a club for a terrible strike.
Yeah,
in a T100. Like
129 ball down to 124, so 5 mile an hour loss.
Yeah.
Which would equate for the gap in being about 10 yards, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So nice. At least if you thin it, you've still got a chance of hitting or getting up and down and retaining some of that ball speed.
In the summer, like you say, even if you're a bit short,
you probably find that still got on anyway. A little bit, yeah.
So you're probably still getting your flat stick out anyway for a quick full jab.
One more?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that feels really good. 3 of those were like flushed. Probably turned over a fraction, but that's just me. It's my shot pattern. Aim for.
Yeah, but like if you look, the reason, so ball speed jumped on that one.
Yeah, I hit
so
that
129, 7.4. Turned it over a little bit. It's gone down to 7.2 at 51. So you haven't really lost loads.
No, it's good.
I would just say a couple of things, like obviously you're not playing that shaft, and I'm testing theories because as a fitter, I don't know why you're in the shaft that you've picked.
Okay.
I don't know the history behind it. You can give me the history, but I kind of, for my own purpose, need to like refit you in that sense. And if you come back to the same notion, great. It's the way it works, right? But I need to know that before I send you off. So you obviously know the DG, like the profile of DG. I try to keep it lightweight at 105. Go into an X1. Now I'm going to go to the other extreme because you said you struggle with heavier.
I think
I'm going to go heavier.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like, I just think it feels harder work for me. So when I feel like I can strike lighter and it feels more comfortable,
it just feels a bit easier. Like, I feel like obviously if I put a good swing on heavy, I'm still going to strike it well. But is it just feel a bit harder work? Maybe, yeah. I think it's interesting. You probably know, with playing better, fitting better players, sometimes you could play a bit of a variety of things if you could like manipulate your swing to almost fine strike.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, like,
so nice
I swear there's going to be like 100 videos of me saying this exact same thing over and over and over. For me, the way that I look at it is I look at it as a whole collective. So if you were asking me what's most important, I'm going to say head design, because that's the element of where all the launch and the spin characteristics and the forgiveness come in.
Yep.
That's not me saying that shaft isn't important.
I completely agree.
Like, it's not that it's like you can hit whatever, because I've seen enough of it to know that certain players will react in different ways.
Yeah.
And that's the key. It's a reaction. So for me, it's a timing belt. So for a player and the way a player swings, and everyone's got different tempos and different patterns to the way that they swing, will suit a particular profile, not necessarily a flex.
Yep.
I'm more talking weight and profile, so where it's stable, where it's not stable, how heavy it is, and how that affects them as a player will affect their ability to consistently strike in a certain spot.
Yep.
Now, some would argue that if you change the shaft, it will change the strike, therefore it is important and you should be looking shaft first.
Yeah.
But if you think of it in a car, if the head's your engine and the shaft's your timing belt, and you stick a Formula 1 timing belt on a Punto,
Yeah.
it doesn't go quicker.
Doesn't make any difference.
It's just more efficient.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got a V8 engine to start with, the tinkering, you can get a load more tinkering done to get the highest performance out of it.
Yeah.
And everyone's different, so everyone's field pattern's different. If I give you something that's really stiff down the bottom end, you might do the opposite of what it says on paper.
Yep.
Oh, it's really stable, so it won't close as much. You might flip it more.
Yep.
Because that's where you feel it.
100%.
Whereas if I put the weight in the other side, you might do the opposite, because there's a delay.
Yeah.
It might straighten out the ball flight. And until you put the player through that, you won't know.
Don't know. Yeah. Completely agree. Definitely agree with that analogy as well, and the head first idea of, like you say, the vast majority of the performance is going to come from this, and then it's just matching up timing elements with that, really, isn't it?
So there, I mean, and then on to summarize that in a crazy way, yes, head is the most important, shaft is equally important, therefore getting fit instead of just assuming is the prime function.
100%. 100%. Right.
Cool.
Go with this?
Yeah. So we've gone from lightweight to heavy.
Yep.
Most of the time I wouldn't tell people that, but you fit for a living, so you're going to know already.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't like, it's definitely heavier. You don't pick it up and obviously go, oh my God, because you know it's what, 20, 25 grams or whatever, but
yeah,
probably 20, but it definitely feels a wee bit heavier. So you don't mind the shot, a little bit bottom groove, but don't mind the shot at all.
Yeah, so then it's like, it's my job to see, like, from a flight perspective and a strike perspective.
Yeah.
If you do a couple thin in a row, like out of the 4 you hit previously, you thinned one, you hit the other 3 pretty sweet.
Yeah.
If you were then to do this and you would hit 2 or 3 out of 4 were thin, the weight's probably a little bit on the higher side, and you're changing a little bit to try and make it work.
Yeah.
So there might be a middle ground element.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a balance, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm going to take that out. I also think it's important, like, to express to fitters sometimes that if you think it's not working because you've seen it not work twice, pull it.
Yeah.
Like, don't hit 3, don't hit 4, because if you get a good player, they'll start to react.
Yeah. You change
the key is, I've watched you hit a 1, thin it went straight. Second one, thin, same line, out it comes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not working. I'm not going to give you a third one, because you're then going to go, oh, I just need to hit down on it.
Yeah, and they're going to change my swing, yeah.
And then you get into that rabbit hole, right? You've got 2 really good ones there, but we both know strike was thin.
Yeah.
So profile could be right of shaft, because the strike location has stayed similar in terms of your ball flight's gone the same way, but the weight's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get in the gym, Lukey boy. No guns.
Wiry.
Yeah. Quick and wiry. Again, groove low. Super straight. Like how straight they're going, that's unusual for me.
Yeah, so it's just a case of I'm going to tweak one last thing now. I think the weight's good. I think where we've gone too weak,
It's kind of doing that a little bit. Yeah.
the bounce is too
Added
much.
Bounce, yeah.
So then if we go 1 week as opposed to 2,
That's the 33, so that'd be playing 34 now.
playing 34.
Yeah, I like that. It's nice. Is the number system similar to the SureFit? No, not at all. No, okay, interesting. Just to
Jack tried to explain to me his way of like, because he's worked it out and memorised it already.
Okay.
And he tried to explain it to me, and his logic and my logic don't work the same.
Right.
So that's where somebody can learn a system, and then he explained it to me, and he was like, "It's basically just this." And I was like, "Okay, so this would be this loft and line." He went, "No," and I was like, "Okay, your logic doesn't work the same way my logic does."
Not making sense.
So I'm not going to try and learn it that way. Good. A little bit better in strike.
Yeah, a tiny bit. Okay, it might have still been like one groove low maybe, but it was better. At least you made contact with the ground on that one. It's always a it's always a positive.
Nice. Very good.
Sounded nice, yeah.
All strikes back.
Yeah, strike was really good.
130
Really nice.
ball.
Does feel really good going through the turf. Like you just feel that strike and just
Good.
cut through the turf.
Not super amounts of spin either. So 6-7 on that one. 51.7 land angle, 114 height, 180 ball. Very efficient.
Nice. Like that. Good strike, that's just me. Turned it a bit.
Turned it over a little bit.
Yeah, that is my miss, unfortunately. But
So it's a good one to reference the miss, right? So
Yeah.
if we do miss, the key for us when we're talking about distance and dispersion, I don't mind talking about dispersion as an element of the MOI characteristics of the iron and the model, and the tungsten is going to help bring that in. But if you've got a player that's got a lot of speed and has a particular miss, there is an element that miss is still going to happen.
yeah,
So there are limits to how much that dispersion can come into account. Again, we're working with humans here, we're working with golfers.
100%, mate. We'll make a bad swing, and time to time,
Exactly,
it's going to happen, right?
It's going to happen. Whereas if I said to you, your good strike was a 51.7 land angle, 6-7 spin, and carried 180 yards, and you're like, okay, mustard, but when I pull it left, that's going to go miles, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm in real trouble. But what if it only went 182 at 53 with very similar spin rate?
It's actually very impressive, isn't it?
So
Very
that's
good.
where, for me, the miss is there, and that's a technical thing.
Yeah.
But that miss isn't going to go 15 yards longer,
Yeah.
left, out of bounds, in trouble, or can't get up and down.
Yeah.
You're like still reaching your peak height. So when it hits the ground, as long as it's not the middle of summer on a links course where it's baked,
Yeah.
the potential is it's going to react the same way it would with the rest of it. It's going to drop and stop quicker.
Yeah.
It's just less likely to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So it gives you that added confidence that if it goes a little bit left, it's not the end of the world. I
Yeah.
can work that into my swing because it's still performing. I'm not getting huge drop-offs. Whereas we've seen it in the past, I've seen it as a fitter in the past. You get a player and it's like they're borderline.
Yeah.
You're like, this is almost danger zone, and then they turn one over and it's like 20 yards long.
Yeah. Gone.
And you're like, how do you play golf like that? Well,
Yeah.
I don't. I keep NRing. Just keep going out of bounds long on a hole.
I don't play very well. Nice. Yeah, but again, it's playing to it, isn't it? I'm right edge of green pretty much every, when I do play anyway. Right edge of green.
But it gives you the confidence now, if you know that the left miss isn't horrendous and like at 120 peak height and it only goes 2 yards further with a pull,
Yeah.
like a turnover, you can almost send it right,
Yeah.
knowing that the miss is going to probably be left edge.
Yeah.
So it changes your focus on then how you play. You're not trying to prevent this, and our job is never to eradicate a miss. That's a key term as well.
Yeah.
My job is not to take a player and say, you've got a left miss, let's straighten that out. That's not my job. My job is to make sure you as a player have a more controlled miss.
Yeah.
So if we can soften it, great. But if it's a technical thing, that's on you, that's not me. I'll give you equipment that allows you to get better with it
100%.
and then fix the fault
Yeah.
without losing
Yeah.
any future stuff.
100%. Nice. So we sticking with this for now, or?
Yeah, hit me two more. I want to see if it still performs over. Have you had shafts in the past that you've played other than Tensei White that you've like really, really enjoyed?
Before that I had the MMT 105 TX, which I probably prefer 10C. And normally, like if I was going to go somewhere else, like a Modus 120, normally was quite good. Again, not too heavy, not too like stout profile.
Yeah.
But quite smooth. That was quite nice. That was quite nice.
Smidge heavy?
Maybe a tiny bit. If anything, it's probably a little more towy, I reckon.
Yeah. So
Still span well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to stick you in a Modus because I'd like to see it.
Bit of curiosity coming out.
A little bit, but like I like that you went 120 because I'm going to go 105. Ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Give it a bash. Again, it was a groove low. Yeah, not awful for me.
A groove low at 129 though.
129 ball. Yeah, that's good. That is very good. So I mean, a lot of these now get like
7.2 spin, 51 land angle, 108 feet, 176 carry. It's not a bad miss if you're going to call that a miss.
No. So I mean, thin like bottom groove now with these clubs is just like really not bad at all.
And that's where I think it's great. Like when you get players that are traditional MB players, they always like a blade. And they ask like, what's the biggest difference between like why you would push someone from an MB into a T1? It's for that.
Yeah.
The miss hit is so much better.
Yeah.
It's not because we want you out of MBs. We whatever you want to play, as long as the data's backing it, you play it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me, you want the best performing thing, a miss hit on a blade versus a miss hit on a T1.
Yeah.
There's going to be a substantial amount of difference just because of the tech. Nice, start line's better. Wind's caught it a bit there. So
yeah, I don't know how much of that is wind or if it's me, I'm not sure. But
a lot of it's going to be wind.
Yeah.
Because obviously, look, you can see like normalised data without the wind, it's definitely not.
Dead straight draw.
Yeah.
Dead straight. Beautiful. It didn't feel like a massive left swing, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a much better strike.
Solid.
You can see you swung a bit harder, 94.5 up to 96.
Yeah.
It's a mile and a half,
Yeah.
call it. Mile and a half difference, you're going to get that jump in ball speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, we're not losing that height.
No.
Yeah, 108, 51, we go up to 51.6 and we don't lose loads of spin either.
No, it's a good spin, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I don't mind that at all. It's nice. But yeah, again, this feels like a nice weight. Certainly doesn't feel too soft.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. One more. I quite like that.
Yeah, I do.
I think you can ramp up and hit it further, for sure.
Okay.
Which is why you've got that one that's jumped up there.
Yep. Well, that last one was the one before. That last one wasn't quite as good, was it?
Last one was there. 135. But 135 to 137, you can see you're retaining, you're within 5 yards.
Yeah.
That's what I'd want to see from the iron. I think that one is a confidence thing where you just ramp up and hit harder, because that's at 94. And it's a little bit of a miss hit, and that's 94.5.
Yeah.
So they're a bit more closer together.
Yeah.
That one is like, I'm just going to lamp this one and make it go far.
I didn't try to be fair.
The other thing you've got there is, if you look at the flights,
yeah,
it's a bit more structured. You get to everything else, and we've got like differing start lines and flights.
Yeah.
Blocks out to the right.
It's interesting.
That's the first one that is controllably coming out that way. Yeah. And that's probably just because it's more stable on the handle, right?
It felt like a decent swing, to be fair. And I think it's interesting. I think looking at the ball flight sometimes is quite important that way. I don't know if you agree, in terms of like what you're seeing on the screen.
Yeah,
so I'm looking at that right to left wind, and I'm seeing them go 20, 30 yards left, and I'm like, shit, I'm just ball drawing all of these. Like, so then you start to like react.
If you look at those, you've got those three there, one straight, two that have drawn. Yeah. That's what they've done normalised. Yeah. You take them off, and that's what we're seeing out in the course.
Yeah. Yeah, okay? Exactly.
So you'll look at that flight and you'll be like, oh my God, that's horrendous. No, that's just relevance for what it's doing with the wind.
The wind, yeah.
But what's key there is we're heavily down and across a little bit.
Yeah.
And where the normalised data, you're at 177, because you've got that height and that spin.
Yeah.
it's only going 180.
Yeah.
You got more control over it.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going downwind and you're like, you can't control the flight, or it's being knocked out of the air.
Yeah.
You're actually gaining the benefit. Downwind, you should gain a little bit.
Yeah.
And into wind, obviously you're going to get hammered, but you would then play for that going a little bit.
That's where skill comes in a little bit.
You've got the control, right? So you can go up clubs, know that the same swing is going to get you the yardage that you need. Do one more, and then we'll start talking about top and bottom end. So like when you go to top end of the bag, we've obviously got built up sets, so we'll fit by hitting the models and getting the data from the models. So if we try T150 and a T100 in a 5 iron, I'll bend it so it's the same loft that it needs to be, and we'd want a 5 mile an hour ball increase, and then the peak height to be the same. If they're different, that's when we look at cross blending.
Cool, sounds good. Again, it was a groove low, that's me getting a bit dippy. I think that was still a pretty good, I'm certainly not unhappy with that shot.
No, and I think, again, little element of it is you're going to be reacting to the wind a bit.
Yes.
You know it's going to carve that way, so you're going to push it further and further right. But even that is still like, that's 172, 173 if you round it up.
Yeah.
7,000 spin, 50 land angle. So you're still within that 170 to 175 yardage that you're expecting. The miss hits are on the lower end.
Yes.
And the better ones are, and then as you build that confidence up and test it indoors where there's no wind, you probably find your dispersion a lot tighter.
You always do react to wind, then it's gusting a bit, and you're like,
I've got to keep it out of the wind, and like, I'm going to have to send this out towards that flag so it comes to that flag.
Yeah, and I already aimed, because that felt pretty straight to me, and it's 30 yards right on there, because I think I'm aiming about 30 yards right of the flag. So that to me felt pretty much where I was aiming. Maybe a hair right, but...
It looks like you're aiming out there when you
I am, yeah.
So then there's that one that you get the 130 ball speed. Again, it's only gone 176. It hasn't jumped because the spin's still at 73. Land angle's at 53. Now, I've had this a few times where a player's like passed 50, and our goal is between 45 and 50, speed dependent. That's a very key term, right?
Yes.
I'm not going to give you 50 degrees of land angle if you're swinging at 70 miles an hour, because I'm going to be taking loads of yardage off it. So I'm going to work with that player for that key. But when it comes to our distance control and our descent angle, we're looking 45 to 50. Now, if you said, right, okay, but that's going 53, you said you wanted to keep it to 50, but your number's 176. I've given you more height to play with, which then in hot, sunny conditions, you've got more chance, tight pins, fast greens, of being able to have that ability to stop it on the green while retaining spin. That also gives you the ability to play with a flight window. So if you've got it and it's not hampering you and not hurting you, it's just an advantage. So if it is a little through it, fine. Justin Rose yesterday was up past those numbers. He was at 51, 52 every now and again. Plays the majority of the golf in the States, right, where they paint tight pins, hard greens, fast greens. Needs it coming in higher. If you then go and play in links, you flight it lower. But you've got that height that you can go up clubs, still get the benefit downwind, and then manipulate the flight into wind.
I think that's a really interesting point, and I guess that comes down to caliber of play sometimes as well. Maybe you have to weigh that up. You know, I feel comfortable knocking it down. So like you say, if I'm hitting it high with an unbelievable descent angle, that's going to be an advantage. But if I cannot knock it down, you might have to think.
Yeah, 100%. and that kind of player, you would sit in that 45 to 50.
Yeah, in the middle.
Like if it's going too high, depending on what we're looking to achieve, because sometimes you've got to factor in the overall performance, right? If I said, okay, 50's too high, let's knock it down, make it go lower, but now your 7 irons at 190 because we've pulled that flight down because it's coming out like a hot rocket. That's equally not good, because we're going to need 15 wedges for you. And you said you don't like your wedge game.
I don't like my wedge game. 7 iron. I'd rather have a 7 iron in than a wedge, to be honest.
But I like where those numbers are. I think you're reacting a little bit to the wind, but your average is 176, 51.8 land angle, 7,170 in spin. Our goal is anywhere from 7,000. And our guide is fluctuating up or down based on the player we've got. That's really good. That's really good ball speed, good smash factor, good height. I'm happy with those numbers. If you're happy with those numbers and the way that feels, we'll start looking at how far up the top end we go.
There you go, Modus 105X.
Test it. You feel free to stick your shafts back in when you get home. Unglue them, rebuild them.
No, it feels good, to be fair. I mean, that sort of weight, I feel the weight, obviously profile comes into it a lot. Weight is obviously a big factor.
Yeah.
Depending on the player, of course, but.
And I think that's key as well as a fitter, like just to explain, like we know what your shaft is, we know what it does. We know why you've gone for a sort of lightweight. We've tested that as well so we can prove it. As you get heavier, the thin strikes come in a little bit more. So can we find a balance? And that was what I was plugging you for information wise. If you had a field preference or a shaft that you liked other than the one you're currently using, and it was Modus, I love the feel of Modus. But in a 120 you said. So we haven't tried the 105, so let's try the 105 because that'll be ballpark closer to where you are now than in anything else.
So I want to say that's actually not 105. I want to say it's like 112. So like that 110.
Yeah, 108, 109, something like that. It will be because it's in the X-Flex. They obviously differ a little bit as you change.
In the
flex.
old school mode, I know they've got Modus 115 now, which I think is closer to 120, but the 120 in the stiff was actually 114, I want to say. So it's like, they're a bit all over the shop Modus.
Which is, to be fair though, it will happen because of the way that the shafts are made, right? So shafts are made that to make them stiffer, you have to thicken the walls.
Yeah.
The only one that gets around that kind of is PX because they do their flex by their weight.
Yeah.
Whereas most of the brands, they're trying to make a flex and then the weight goes up, and they're trying to keep it. So we're going to go 100 and a 5 iron. So if you're 129 on average, I need 139 on a 5 iron. And then I need the peak height to retain at 112 as a bare minimum.
Maybe a hair heavy.
Yeah, sounded it. Not a bad start. Heavy at 136, I think it came off as.
Yeah.
Yeah, 136.
Yeah.
And it's got 98 feet of height there, so.
Yeah, with a good strike, we'd probably be there, to be fair, wouldn't we? But
139.
Yeah, a little pushy, but the strike was better.
But this is where the key is, right? So you pushed it, timing belt's different. What does it do? 111 feet. What did we want?
Over 100 really, yeah.
112 was your 7. That's 111.
Yeah.
139 ball speed.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And
I'm going to leave it alone.
Still got more in the tank than that, I reckon. I reckon we could push it into 140. That was good, but it wasn't perfect. It was
no, correct, which is why spin rate and land angle's up, right?
Yeah.
So like
high right blocky one.
But we know that we know the speed is there.
Yeah.
At 139.
We're really interested to see what that one does because that was a groove low again.
So groove low.
You take it.
138 ball.
It's pretty solid.
113 peak height, spins up because you thinned it.
Thinned it, yeah.
It's fine.
Still pretty solid, right?
So would you play a 4 iron?
I don't at the minute, but.
Any reason why? Don't need to? Don't feel you need to?
Yeah, I just feel hybrid's so much easier to hit.
Yeah, that's a fair
I absolutely could play a 4 iron, but I got GT2 at the minute and it's just so easy to hit. Launches.
What number do you see with your 4 iron?
I'd say
yardage.
In the studio, probably in around that 215 to 220 carry number.
215?
Something around there, 215, 220 carry.
So.
Which is probably right. I mean, that was a bit of a thin 5 iron, carried 200, so 5 iron, good strike's probably going to be 205, maybe.
Yeah, you got 3 hits there.
None of them were perfect, but.
The one there, and again, like, look, 139 launched, you got the peak height, good strike, 201.
Yeah.
That's because he spun up at 5.6 because you left the face open.
So not perfect, but long irons are a wee bit harder.
Which is why the weight will benefit you. With it being a 105, but still stout in the fact that it's like an X-Flex for you.
Yeah.
Still gives you the confidence that you've got the stability there.
Yeah.
But it keeps the weight down, so it doesn't make the whole thing heavier. And that's, I think anybody that doesn't really understand AMT, that's what AMT is designed to do. So it doesn't change the swing weight, it changes the overall dead weight.
Yeah.
So we can swing weight everything, so it's all D2, as an example, but your 4 iron will feel lighter than your pitching wedge.
Yeah. Yeah.
For that reason, for those players that struggle when they get to longer irons, because maybe that 120 gram is a bit there.
Too much in the long.
It lightens the load on the way up.
Yeah, yeah. I think, well, again, my tendency is the same thing, right?
Yeah, correct.
Get lighter in the long irons and definitely, it just makes it feel a little bit easier, which is great, I think, for a lot of players.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing in the long iron.
So I'm going to get you to hit 250, you, in a 4 iron.
Yep.
Just to give, I know you say you don't have a 4 iron, you're playing your hybrid.
Yeah.
You probably would play that hybrid by the sound of it. You're not looking to change. I'm not going to push you out of it, but for the sake of the fitting video, I want you to hit other models, just so you can see what they do and how versatile it's going to be for you as a fitter. So this stage of it is probably more of an education on
love it.
your part than it is necessarily
All up for that,
fitting
mate.
you into something.
All up for that. It's gone like a rocket, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So there would have been, just for clarity, there would have been you as a T100 player hitting 5-iron good, knowing that T100's good.
Yeah.
T150 would be the logical next move, a jump, but I don't want us to hit loads and loads and loads, knowing that we're not going to hit that. We just want to see what the utilities do.
Yeah.
So if you as a fitter, you've got somebody that like says, I like my 4-iron, but it doesn't really go high enough.
Yeah.
And you've hit that one, it's gone like a rocket, it's at 96 feet, not really where we want to be. How many times did you as a fitter potentially have someone that was in a Titleist utility that should have been in a U505, but sat there and said, I ain't playing that, look at the size of it.
Yeah,
because the back on it. I had loads of them, I don't mind saying it.
Yeah.
Like, the design of it was what it was supposed to do. So that's a 250 in a 4, that's a U505 in a 4.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you say, it does look that little bit bigger, but
this was how the U505 used to look size-wise. So now there's a progressive nature in how big the structure of the sole goes.
Yeah, wow, that's like very, very different, isn't it? Like,
so as you go from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, the size of the chassis gets a little bit bigger.
yes,
But
just to increase that.
as a tool, this is so much better, because you might have someone that would be in a U505 because of the nature of what it's designed to do. We're trying to promote that height.
Yeah.
But they won't play it because of the nature of how that used to be in the previous generation.
Yes.
Now it's such a subtle change. Some of them, when I've done it, they haven't even noticed it's a U505.
Yeah.
They've just hit it. They've actually called it out and said, oh, that's a T350.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, actually, it's a U505.
It does look very T350, actually,
It's
doesn't
just
it?
got less offset.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that progressive nature. That's good.
So then go ahead and hit this, and if we get the same strike, we'll see what the details are.
That is a very big if.
Yeah, but you know, we're working with humans, right?
100%.
That's a really good bad hit. Hold the finish, that's the rule. When the hand comes off, everybody knows.
Because that was
He did what your 5-iron did.
211 carry. I mean, that was very, very bad.
So ball speed wise, it was 138 right out the bottom. Land angle was still 44.
I think that was probably like nearly a hosel rocket. That was. Oh, that was good.
So a big spike in height from what we could see there.
Yeah, that was really good.
But you notice how the curvature went down as well. So like even with the wind, like if we take that off normalised and just look at what that flight did there for you.
Yeah.
See how little curvature there was?
Nice
That'll be the MOI characteristics between that and the 250. Slightly wider, slightly bigger, less twisting. Yeah,
nice.
So that's where sometimes for me, I was looking at players in a T200U and I was like, you should be in a U505 because they're turning it over too much.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I would love you to hit a U505, and then they hit it and they go like, I'm all for it, but I just can't look down at that. Now it's like,
it doesn't look too bad at all. Like that, you can
like you can see it's a progressive build. Like, so if you've gone into a 250 and a 4-iron and then I give you this in a 3-iron, it's like you've gone into another model.
Yeah.
But it's not anywhere near what it used to be, and it's not like, oh, I can't play that. You just know it's a little bit bigger. Yeah. Then you see the ball flight and you're like, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I've done to my bag as well. So I've gone like 100s, 150, 250 and a 4, and then I threw a U505 and a 3 because I literally can't turn it over and it just pops up in the air.
Nice.
So it's like where I play it, you've got a lot of tight tee shots.
Yeah.
For me, I can't miss with the 3 and it still pumps out there quite fast. So you can see there, 109 on the actual data, 112. So then if it was like for you, 139 was your 5-iron, so we'd be looking for like 146. So we'd say it's probably a little bit strong.
Yeah.
But you might say, I hit my 5-iron sort of like 205 to 210.
Yeah.
I very rarely am hitting anything else.
Yeah.
I need something that I can hit off the tee.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Doesn't move left to right much. It's got more control on it. It pops up in the air the same peak height, and it carries 225.
And I'd rather have a little bit more of a gap, if anything, anyway, right? Because more often than not, you're probably going to slightly miss it. And if it drops 5-10 yards and you've got that little bit of extra kind of just cushion in there for you,
yeah,
certainly not a bad thing, is it? I mean, so did that do 112 normalised or in real life?
In real life.
Yeah.
So 108 normalised, so only 4 feet different.
Yeah, still good though, isn't it? I mean, that peak height and that land angle there for a 4-iron.
Yeah, you can point and shoot from 220.
Yeah.
Like,
right. But that's why I ended up going towards the hybrid. I think because I only went T1 or T150,
yeah,
like it was just coming out a little bit too low, even with Loft, like it was just coming out like that. So it's like, I don't really want a 41, 42 land angle with a 4-iron. You go to a hybrid that just pops up or something like that.
But this is the whole reason we do the fitting process the way we do it, right? We're not trying to get you into everything. We're just trying to get you into what works for you performance-wise. So if it's a U505, it's a U505. If that didn't work, it's a hybrid, and you've got a hybrid. So there's reasons why.
Yeah.
MOI goes up. That probably helps you, right? You get that weight in the toe in the two.
Yep.
It keeps the face open for longer. It keeps off-center strikes or toe strikes. It kills the gear effect a little bit. All of those reasons are still the same stuff we do with the rest of it. So we still follow the same process. If this was a full bag fit with me, we'd have tested out a hybrid and we'd have weighed up which one you prefer. You might have found you wanted one for one condition and one for a different one. Links, you might have wanted this because it doesn't go as high as the hybrid.
Yeah.
Then when you're playing in sunny conditions where you don't necessarily need to knock it out of the air, you go into the hybrid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sense?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So any questions at all?
So you'd say for me then, recommended a setup, if I was going to go 4-iron, you'd go U5054 and then just T1s up? Or would you potentially look at like 155 or just to say T1 up's good?
No, T1 up, we hit the number, we hit the fight and the height. The only thing we can't guarantee is that the timing belt is different. Yep. So your left to right dispersion is going to be affected and your timing belt is going to be different.
Yep.
As long as the head's giving us that height and that ball speed, I wouldn't really change it because you run the risk of, if you go into T150, and like we can hit one to give you an example if you want it for your content, but because it's stronger in Loft, even if you weaken it by a degree, we can't go 2 because we know when we went 2 with T1, you couldn't get it behind the ball.
Down,
we do that in the 150, you don't get the strike. So we can only go by 1, and then you might get 2, like that situation I explained to you before, where you get a player that likes the 150 because it peaks that height. Every now and again you get that one that goes off a little bit quicker because you've hit it flush, and then your yardage jump is like that, where you've gone 205 to 225. So my question would be more working with the player to say, do you hit 4-irons that often? Your point was, no, I've got a bit of a hybrid for that. This is just another option to give you should you want something that isn't a hybrid.
100%. And so, as you know, if you were telling me a spec now in terms of the 4-iron, would you say something like a hazardous, or would you look at just keeping it Modus 105 that you fit me into, or what would your opinion on that be?
In a utility, so because the utilities are different this year from last year, so from you as a builder, I'll give you this info because I know you build the clubs. The hosel depth is 370.
Okay, yes, okay.
Yeah, the diameter is 370, not depth, sorry. Whereas before it was 355.
Okay. So now really you're looking at
now
going
it takes
into
a hybrid shaft in the utility models. We still do the 250 in the 355 for people that want it in steel in taper, and then you go, when you want it in a utility model, that's where it's at the 370 head.
Right, okay.
So that you can take the shaft, it'll take that hybrid shaft in there.
So we'd be looking at more of a hybrid option, a graphite option anyway, which to be honest, like I like.
It didn't work like, and I think to stress part of the fitting process to your viewers, if we can't test it, I'm not going to suggest it.
100%.
Because I can't guarantee it's going to work. If you know full well you've got a preference, you've really got a strong preference, you've tested it lots yourself, and you know it works better, fine, you can order it that way. But I'm still going to say that worked. My emphasis would be that worked, I'm going to stick with that. You can choose to pick off after that. If it then doesn't work out, you know what did, so you can obviously revert back. But if you've got a really strong preference, I'm not going to say no to you. You're the one that's picking the clubs at the end of the day. I'm just going to back my data versus your theoretical.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So if it was today, I'd say tried and tested, that worked. That's what you're going to go with.
Nice. All right, let's get set on order then. U5054 iron, 5 to 5
you
up.
never know.
T1, 1 week. Lie angle? What would you go for me?
Lie angle, you were 1 flat in our standard, so it's 62.
Okay.
Sorry, 2 flat. 1 week. 2 flat 1 week, so 61.
Yeah, I like that.
Saw good ball flight when we moved it. So when we were in A1, we saw when we did the testing, everything started on line, moved off.
Yeah.
2 flat, straightened out. And that's primarily how I'm looking at lie angle. I'll do some other stuff like I'll look at camera angles, turf interaction.
Yeah.
Line on the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all parts that I'll do. If I think I need to like prove to the player, you like it as flat as possible.
Just a looks thing as well sometimes.
Yeah,
you see that toe a little bit up in the air, you're like, oh no.
I think for a player that misses left, as long as we're not losing ball speed, and that's key, right? Turf interaction needs to be good and ball speed doesn't need to be impacted.
Yeah.
So if you go 2 flat for a player and toe digs in, start line might be great, but if they're losing like 5-6 miles an hour out of nowhere, it's coming from strike because you're effectively forcing the face open through turf.
Yeah.
A little bit harder to do, which is why we say like use camera angles. You've got dots on your quad, and you've got ball as well. So put a line on the ball and see how it strikes from there. That gives you all those references to whether you think the lie angle is incorrect. But it's got to be, for me, it's got to be ball flight.
Yeah.
If that flight and your strike is staying the same, but flight's getting better, I would lamp onto that personally.
Yeah, completely agree. Awesome. All right. Good, you to set now. Thanks, mate.
All good, mate. No worries. Nice. Nice. Right. Yeah, and that feels so good. Cool, Tom. So what we've decided to go with is T250, pitch and wedge up to 6 iron. We've gone 1 flat and 1 strong and a Nippon NS Pro 950 and a stiff flex for you. As we've gone through the fit in the same process that we've done with Ross, we're looking for ball speed gains up through the sets. And as we got to 6 iron, we saw a drop off in 5. T250 5 iron wasn't getting the ball speed we needed. That's why we looked at the T350 and the 5 iron. That gets you the ball speed and still retains your apex, which is what we're always looking for. So if we're going to cross blend, we need that ball speed to be 5 mile an hour jump between the 2 models, and we also need the apex to, at bare minimum, be the same as what it is in the 7 iron. And if we can get a little bit more, great. If we can get more apex, is always key, as long as we're getting the same yardage that we're looking for. So for you, you don't have your hybrid with you today. You said you normally play a 5 hybrid.
Yep.
I've spec'd you out for that because we know this works.
It's hitting the number.
And what I want you to do is just test the 2 to work out whether you're going to prefer hitting a 5 iron or whether the hybrid maybe is not suited anymore, and then you can weigh up whether it comes out of the bag. But on today's performance, this is the setup I would go with you.
Cool, fantastic.
And then the only thing you got left to choose is what grip you'd like on the bottom.
Oh, you don't want to see my grips. They're proper weird. Yeah, no, that was good. I enjoyed that, mate. It was lovely. Thank you for your help, and all makes sense. Love the clubs. Yeah,
You're welcome.
nice.
Good.
Thank you.